Think about your blessings. Think about those things that you are extremely grateful for. For me, for example, it is people. I've been blessed with amazing people up to this point in my life, which is insane, really is insane. Well, at this point, it just is insane. And if you're encountering some bad days, think about those things that nobody has but you. So I'm having my people, you're having something else. I know that. Maybe there's also people, it doesn't necessarily have to be something different, but we all have something that we are really grateful for. Even if it is something really, really small, there's still something.
Rhythm and a rhythm, I guess is the English word, I actually don't really know, is important in life and also design. So part 2 of Design Talk with me, a designer. Why is rhythm important? I think rhythm is important because it's predictable. When you have certain elements, let's just take bars. We have certain bars and a poster, and just have one bar, then 1 inch or a few centimeters of space in between this bar and the next bar, and then again and again and again. It is predictable, it is nice. It has just some structure. It feels good, it feels okay and whatnot, but it can be boring. And when you're seeing it 2 times in a row, 5 times in a row, 7 times in a row, you might think to yourself, well, it is really boring. I want to see something different. And I think it is actually the exact same thing in life as well. Sometimes it is actually really great to have this structure, to have this rhythm, to have this balance of things, because you always know what is going to happen. You always know what is going to come up. You always know how the day starts and how the day ends. Some people need it more and some people need it less. But from time to time, it's actually cool and interesting and great to have a rhythm, just something different to happen, something different to come up and whatnot, because it gets boring if every day is the same. And so from time to time, maybe you have to change up things, maybe you have to do things in a different way. Could also help that it is not that predictable, or you're doing those things that you really love in a different environment, changing the context, basically. Of course, a poster feels differently than a TV ad, even if it is kind of the same graphic. Of course, this is a bad comparison because one is moving and the other one is a still image, but still I think you know what I mean. So go through your life and see where you might be having a bit too much rhythm and maybe even a bit too much a rhythm. See you next time.
In the evening, it is actually quite late. It is 11:30 p.m. So I'm gonna go to bed, and I really have to very, very, very quickly. But I do want to say something. I do want to talk about something pretty quickly. Everything is temporary. Your body, your mind, your friends, everything in life is temporary. So it really makes sense to, first of all, see that, realize that, and accept that. Of course, this is something that's actually, pretty fundamental to life, but on the same coin side, very difficult and problematic and, well, shitty, because I do always wanna maybe feel and look like that, but this is not gonna happen. I'm gonna get older, I'm gonna get more crippled, I'm gonna just not feel as young as I'm gonna feel or as I'm feeling right now in the future. But this also makes one very grateful for the things that one is having at this time, the friends, the family, well, they are also gonna die someday, be aware of that. Your health and everything else, everything is quite borrowed, everything is quite temporary. Your state, where you are, financially, mentally, whatever it may be, it is all temporary, And tomorrow it might look different. Tomorrow it might look worse, but also maybe better. Who knows? But in the end, be aware of that. Notice, accept that, and think about that, and be grateful for what you have, and accept the fact that one day you're gonna have to give all of the things that you're having back, including your health, your looks, maybe your friends, or probably your friends, but who knows if you're gonna die before them or not. But everything is borrowed. Again, by the way, a pretty Stoic thought, or actually a Stoic thought.
Today, another Stoic quote by Marcus Aurelius, which really ties into the whole idea of amor fati, translated love faith or love your faith, depends on how you translate it. But I'm gonna give you the quote. But before I'm doing it, loving one's faith means loving one's faith. You know, not even wishing for it to be somehow different. You know, no matter what happens, you love it. Which is, if you think about it, a pretty cool thing, because no matter what happens, you're gonna love it. No matter what happens, you're gonna be okay with it. You know, you're not gonna complain, you're not gonna be unhappy, you're just gonna deal with it. You know, you're gonna be fine with it. Well, not even fine, but you're gonna love it. I think it is very important to point out that it is about love here, and not about liking it, or just accepting it, or being fine with it. It is about loving. Amor fati, love, faith. But yeah, I'm gonna give you the quote. Think of the life you have lived until now as over, and as a dead man, see what is left as a bonus and live it according to nature. So the first section. So he talks about life being over, and so you think that you're already dead, but you're obviously not when you're seeing this. But you act as if, and this is gonna really make you appreciate your life a bit more. You know, it's bonus time. You know, you have a few additional days. Who knows how long this is gonna last? You know, who knows how long you're gonna be on this planet? Who knows what you're gonna be capable of doing in the future? You know, because we get older, accidents, unfortunately, and so on. The second part. Love the hand that fate deals you and play it as your own, for what could be more fitting? So this is the whole amor fati thing. Love the hand, that fate deals you. Just be okay with it. He's not that that much about love here. Or actually, love the hand that fate deals you. So whatever fate gives you, love it, and play it as your own. You know, just acting as if this was what you actually wanted to do. For what could be more fitting? What could be more fitting? Today I've read about something pretty interesting on a podcast where I, from time to time, go through book summaries, things that I just think are important to talk about, whether it is an article or, as I said, a book summary. But today I went through Happiness is a Way by Dr. Wayne Dyer. Yeah, and there was a pretty interesting analogy that he gave and he was writing about, and I want to give it to you. I want to read it. Think for a minute about an orange. When you squeeze it as hard as you can, what comes out? Orange juice, of course. But the question is, why does juice come out when an orange is squeezed? The answer is because this is what's inside. Now, does it matter who does the squeezing? Does it matter how you do it? What instrument you use or what time of the day you do it? No. When you squeeze an orange, what always comes out is what is inside. And he goes on talking about, well, actually, I could also read it. Similarly, when you squeeze a person, that is, put pressure on them of any kind, which most often is going to be stress or something else, and anger and hatred and stress and depression comes out, it isn't because of who is doing the squeezing or when they do it or how they choose to do it. It is because this is what's inside of that person. Think about that. Do something about the things that are pissing you off. I know it is in general like pretty obvious advice and to some degree also pretty bad advice, you know, for example, people being blind and you are, you know, just try to see again. Of course, it is very difficult, but figure out what it exactly is that is pissing you off and that you really dislike about, you know, what's happening in your life and whatnot, and then try to figure out what you can do about that. This, you know, do not have to be just extreme and massive changes in the first place, you know. Probably over just, you know, certain periods of time this is gonna happen, but one should not be too incredibly focused on, like, I don't know, changing everything right now. At least try to figure out what it exactly is
and then try, and I do want to underline, try to do something about it.